Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Pretending that something is the case in order to make a good impression. They try to keep up appearances. Formal attendance, in court or at a hearing, of a party in an action. Outward or visible aspect of a person or thing. A mental representation. I tried to describe his appearance to the police. The act of appearing in public view. The rookie made a brief appearance in the first period. The event of coming into sight. Provide evidence for. The blood test showed that he was the father. Pretending that something is the case in order to make a good impression. That ceremony is just for show. Take someone to their seats, as in theaters or auditoriums. The usher showed us to our seats. Indicate a certain reading of gauges and instruments. The thermometer showed 13 degrees below zero. Indicate a place, direction, person, or thing, either spatially or figuratively. I showed the customer the glove section. Show in, or as in, a picture. Be or become visible or noticeable. His good upbringing really shows. Something intended to communicate a particular impression. A show of impatience. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. She shows her dogs frequently. Give expression to. She showed her disappointment. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. The mathematician showed the validity of the conjecture. A social event involving a public performance or entertainment. They wanted to see some of the shows on Broadway. Finish third or better in a horse or dog race. He bet $2 on number 6 to show. Give evidence of, as of records. The diary shows his distress that evening. Make visible or noticeable. She showed her talent for cooking. The act of publicly exhibiting or entertaining. A remarkable show of skill. Formal attendance, in court or at a hearing, of a party in an action. Formal attendance, in court or at a hearing, of a party in an action. Outward or visible aspect of a person or thing. Pretending with intention to deceive. The act of giving a false appearance. The act of giving a false appearance. His conformity was only pretending. Representation of something, sometimes on a smaller scale. The act of giving a false appearance. Computer science, the technique of representing the real world by a computer program. A simulation should imitate the internal processes and not merely the results of the thing being simulated. The act of imitating the behavior of some situation or some process by means of something suitably analogous, especially for the purpose of study or personnel training. An artful or simulated semblance. Pretending with intention to deceive. A false or unsupportable quality. The act of giving a false appearance. Imaginative intellectual play. An artful or simulated semblance. Pretending with intention to deceive. A false or unsupportable quality. The act of giving a false appearance. Imaginative intellectual play. The act of being present, at a meeting or event, etc. The frequency with which a person is present. A student's attendance is an important factor in her grade. The number of people that are present. Attendance was up by 50%. The process whereby a person concentrates on some features of the environment to the relative exclusion of others. The act of being present, at a meeting or event, etc. Music. The distinctive property of a complex sound, a voice or noise or musical sound. A degree or grade of excellence or worth. The quality of students has risen. A characteristic property that defines the apparent individual nature of something. Each town has a quality all its own. Of superior grade. Quality paper. An essential and distinguishing attribute of something or someone. The quality of mercy is not strained. High social status. A man of quality. Of high social status. People of quality. A presentation to the mind in the form of an idea or image. A presentation to the mind in the form of an idea or image. The state of serving as an official and authorized delegate or agent. A performance of a play. A body of legislators that serve in behalf of some constituency. A congressional vacancy occurred in the representation from California. A creation that is a visual or tangible rendering of someone or something. A factual statement made by one party in order to induce another party to enter into a contract. The sales contract contains several representations by the vendor. An activity that stands as an equivalent of something or results in an equivalent. A statement of facts and reasons made in appealing or protesting. Certain representations were made concerning police brutality. The act of representing. Standing in for someone or some group and speaking with authority in their behalf. The right of being represented by delegates who have a voice in some legislative body. A presentation to the mind in the form of an idea or image. Accomplishment of an objective. Someone who arrives, or has arrived. The act of arriving at a certain place. They awaited her arrival. An event that happens. An event that happens. Presently occurring, either causally or incidentally. Technical terms are rarely occurrent in literature. An event that happens. An event that happens. An instance of something occurring. A disease of frequent occurrence. Desert. A cause, a country or an army, often in order to join the opposing cause, country, or army. A mark or flaw that spoils the appearance of something, especially on a person's body. An imperfection in an object or machine. If there are any defects, you should send it back to the manufacturer. A failing or deficiency. That interpretation is an unfortunate defect of our lack of information. An imperfection in a bodily system. Visual defects. An affliction in which some part of the body is misshapen or malformed. An appearance that has been spoiled or is misshapen. A soiled or discolored appearance. The act of changing the natural color of something by making it duller or dingier or unnatural or faded. A soiled or discolored appearance. The act of changing the natural color of something by making it duller or dingier or unnatural or faded. An appearance that has been spoiled or is misshapen. Suffering from facial disfiguration. The act of damaging the appearance or surface of something. An appearance that has been spoiled or is misshapen. There were distinguishing disfigurements on the suspect's back. The act of damaging the appearance or surface of something. He objected to the dam's massive disfigurement of the landscape. A phenomenon that follows and is caused by some previous phenomenon. The magnetic effect was greater when the rod was lengthwise. Of a law, having legal validity. The law is still in effect. Produce. The central meaning or theme of a speech or literary work. An outward appearance. She retained that bold effect in her reproductions of the original painting. Act so as to bring into existence. Effect a change. An impression, especially one that is artificial or contrived. He just did it for effect. A symptom caused by an illness or a drug. The effects of sleep loss. An ornate appearance, being elaborately, even excessively, decorated. Marked by elaborately complex detail. A pale and sickly appearance. His etiolation signaled years in prison. Botany, the act of causing a plant to develop without chlorophyll by growing it without exposure to sunlight. The etiolation of celery. The act of weakening by stunting the growth or development of something. The etiolation of the critical tradition. A contorted facial expression. A specific size and style of type within a type family. A pose, as in hostility or a competition. Jackson faced Smith in the boxing ring. The feelings expressed on a person's face. An angry face. A surface forming part of the outside of an object. Dew dripped from the face of the leaf. Be oriented in a certain direction, often with respect to another reference point, be opposite to. The building faces the park. The front of the human head from the forehead to the chin and ear to ear. He washed his face. Impudent aggressiveness. Deal with something unpleasant, head on. He faced the terrible consequences of his mistakes. Present somebody with something, usually to accuse or criticize. He was faced with all the evidence and could no longer deny his actions. A part of a person that is used to refer to a person. He looked out at a room full of faces. A vertical surface of a building or cliff. Be opposite. The two sofas face each other. Cover the front or surface of. The building was faced with beautiful stones. Line the edge of a garment with a different material. Face the lapels of the jacket. Status in the eyes of others. He lost face. The general outward appearance of something. The face of the city is changing. The part of an animal corresponding to the human face. The side upon which the use of a thing depends, usually the most prominent surface of an object. He dealt the cards face down. The striking or working surface of an implement. Turn so as to expose the face. Face a playing card. Turn so as to face. Turn the face in a certain direction. Turn and face your partner now.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.